The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.
Here is a question that I received from Kara, who's going through a divorce, and she's been married for 7 years. Dear Dr. Kenner, I'm going through a divorce, married 7 years. Unfortunately, our divorce is affecting our 3 children, all under the age of 10. So 3 very young children. What is the best way to schedule parenting time between us? My husband's lawyer is suggesting 1 week per parent back and forth forever. Thanks so much, Kara. So, Kara, the question at first, the forever part, or on and on and on, indefinitely, that part, you always want to be open to revising a schedule. Everybody learns when they first set up a schedule, a visitation schedule or a co-parenting schedule. Everybody learns as they go. Does this schedule work for all 3 of our children? Does it work for me given my work schedule? Does it work for me given that I feel very attached to my children and I don't want to see them gone for an entire week? So you want to know that nothing's written in stone, and I would have the lawyer write that in writing, that this will come up for annual or semi-annual review to make sure that it's working. So nothing is in stone that way. The second point is, nobody can answer this question but you. Just because your husband's lawyer suggests something doesn't mean that it's the solution, obviously. That's why you're questioning it. You're seeking more information. You want to ask yourself privately, what would that look like? Do a thought experiment. Thought experiments are just picturing it in your own mind moving forward, picturing it during the summer, picturing it during the winter when some of the kids might be at school. I know you've got very young ones. How will it work out with after school activities? How will it work out personally for you? Do you need a little respite? Do you need a whole week respite from your kids? If you need a whole week respite, that may be a problem for your kids, because they are young kids. They're going to need your attentiveness, your nurturing, your visibility. They're going to not want to feel abandoned from each parent every other week. Another question is, what alternatives have you looked at? So see if it fits into your lifestyle. If it doesn't, look at the alternatives. And you can go online. My guess is you already have samples of these, but I just Googled on about.com for single parents. You can see child custody schedules. The first one they talk about is the one that you're considering, alternating weeks.
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. Ugh, I wish guys knew more about what we want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance. A serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
The first one they talk about is the one that you're considering, alternating weeks. And you want to have some flexibility in that, because you may want to swap weeks in case one person is always getting Christmas or a particular holiday and you want to share it, or one person always gets the vacation, just the way the week goes. Another way is you can have what your husband is and the lawyer suggesting, alternating weeks, but you can have one night during the week where you have an evening visit or a midweek overnight with the opposite parent, so the kids still keep the connection. Then they go into schedules that are a little crazy, or they would be crazy for me. 2-3 day rotations. I mean, if you get into a rhythm of it, that's one thing, but sometimes there was an old movie, if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium, a family traveling to different countries, and they were just very confused. And, if it's Tuesday, what day in the rotation are we in? Is it mom's or dad's day? Or there's also a 3-3-4-4 day rotation, and there's a 2-2-5-5 day rotation. So already you can see it's a little more confusing. So you do want to simplify it for yourselves and the kids. And then you also want to listen very carefully to your kids. They don't call the ultimate shots. You do want to listen to what's to them, to their concerns, and answer their concerns. And you obviously, I'm assuming both parents are stable and the safety issues are fine. Otherwise, it might be very different. You want to spend time with each of the kids. Again, the main thing is the visibility. 3 things. The visibility. The kids need to feel valued, cherished, cared for, and nurtured. Another thing is that they shouldn't be hearing you arguing and fighting over things. That's very damaging. And I know it's hard going through a divorce, but try to protect them from that. The third is feeling abandoned by one parent. Maybe one parent just gives up. They don't want to deal with the guilt. They fly far away. Listen, I've written an article that's on my website, drkenner.com, drkenner.com, and it's called Partners, A Rational Plan for Nurturing Your Child After Your Marriage Ends. And I recommend a book, Helping Your Child Through the Divorce, which I think will help with that also. There's also a phenomenal book for kids, and I use this a lot in therapy. My book's falling apart. Sometimes I'd spend a whole session on 1 or 2 pages, and that's Dinosaur's Divorce, and it really helps kids open up and express what's going on. It gives them the freedom to do that, and you do want to listen to them. You will try to, again, in the custody, going back to the custody schedule for a moment, do the kids want to be in one neighborhood or another? Do they like the bedroom in one parent's home over another? Are there friends in that area? So listen to your children and work it into whatever arrangement you make.
And here's a little more from Dr. Kenner.
That's the prize? A free buffet?
Oh, well, no, actually, it's not a buffet. It's a special reception at 10 o'clock in the Penthouse Conference Room. Oh. Where a spectacular, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity awaits you. What do you think?
I think it's some kind of scam.
Oh, good, a scam! We'll do it.
And do you know people in your lives who are taken in by scams? And I mean, that's a cute scene from Rat Pack. However, it's a scam. We'll do it on some level. If you know you're involved in a scam, if somebody's soliciting something, we get the telemarketers all the time, or we get the emails that say, "Oh, you've won some vacation. Just give us your social security number and the name of all your kids and your puppy and whatnot." The routine, and they immediately go into the trash for me. Most of them go into my spam filter, but if someone calls up, it's the same thing. I hang up. I usually ask them, "Have I asked you to call? Are you a telemarketer?" And then I end the call, or I push 1 or 2 or whatever number they want to take me off the list. But the point is, are you taken in by scams? If you feel like you want something for nothing, whether it's gambling, I think gambling is a scam. I think it's a huge scam. All you have to do is look at casinos. You see how much of your money, or people who are duped, they get. They're very wealthy. They're rolling in the dough. And should it be allowed on a free market? Of course. It is a scam, and buyer beware. You're the one that needs to know that if you're putting quarters into a machine or laying money on the table, if it's your earned money, it's your money, and you raise an eyebrow, or maybe it's a mental eyebrow. Should I be doing this? Oh man, tune into that. That is your self, your subconscious, feeding you information. Honey, this ain't a good deal. Even if you win, it's not a good deal. In fact, that makes you more vulnerable if you win, because you draw what conclusion? You draw that gambling is healthy for you, and long-range gambling is not healthy. Using your mind rationally is. There are a lot of things you can do other than gamble. I know some people use it for, in quotes, recreation. Many people use it for escape. Many people use it for just a way, hoping that they can take a shortcut in life, and it doesn't end up being that. And many of us have been touched by people in our close environment. I certainly have worked with many people in therapy, and I've seen families absolutely destroyed by gambling and other bad choices too. So it's not just gambling.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by psychologists Drs. Kenner and Locke.
Most people are aware that men can become aroused, sometimes within seconds, by as little as seeing their partner walk through the door. Women, in contrast, take longer and require more of an emotional context. There are exceptions, but this holds true for most couples. This is not to say that men do not need a context for sex, but typically they can get in the mood much faster. How do you create that emotional context? The first step is to have a close, intimate relationship, but even this doesn't mean that each of you will be in the mood all of the time or even at the same time. Your desire may vary depending on many factors: your age, health, medications, energy level, work demands, time pressure, personal mood, or time of day or month, or some specific event, for example, seeing a romantic movie.
Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.